So I'll just go for this review, but I'm not really going to read it all. Can't be bothered. And I'll start with a story. Oh shit, here we go again. I reviewed the Heavies H1H, it's about 4 months ago now. Probably 3, I'm not sure. And I liked them, but they ended up degrading in quality. Basically the port was, and this isn't the Heavies H1H, just so people are aware, it's one I'm actually reviewing here. The Heavies H1Hs were pretty unreliable. The cables broke out and damaged the port, and then the other port stopped working properly, so the only way to use it was Bluetooth, and it wasn't good. Well, the Bluetooth wasn't good either in my opinion, but it's probably an adapter problem because I could only use an adapter on my PC. It kept connecting and disconnecting everything for some reason. It's very annoying, so I don't know what happened there. But I was looking for new headphones, and I was recommended these headphones for audio quality, noise cancellation, noise isolation, and there's something else. So there's something else. I decided to take the gamble because I was in desperate need of a new pair at this point, and I was recommended these, and yeah, I did some research, slight research. Has everything I wanted in headphones, and more as we'll see later. So let's review the Megalovanias in an unbiased way, and different to how I'd otherwise review it, I guess. I'm no expert on these, on headphones that matter, so it's just really a layperson's point of view and all the dirty mousepad, which is what I can do about that. Well, out of the box it was interesting. It was in a box of its own and then a case. So that was a weird experience to begin with. First thing you'll notice is the lack of wired options. I'm a user of wired headphones, specifically because that's what works with my system, my PC. It has the least amount of issues, the least amount of troubleshooting. But there's one problem. How many ports do you see on this? That's like front and back. Exactly. There's only one USB-C. This is fucking stupid. Just obviously just so stupid. Because you need multiple options. Because when one goes wrong, the other would work in that place, which is really where the Heavies H1H is lost so long. But these don't have any. It's just the USB-C and that's it. One of the things I'll mention here is it's not very well sort of put in. Like, even holding it like this, it's dodgy. It's not broken yet, but this sort of system is gonna break it because it's just as easy as to pull it out. And the cable's gone. That's probably a good thing anyway. Get that back. But I've had to get an extension as well because the cable provided was too short. It's about 50 centimeters, which is way too short for a cable. They all need to be at least 100. There's no reason not to be. And it's like 70 or 80 centimeters off the ground. These desk cables or whatever. So it doesn't need to be so short. But the other weird thing with this is it came with a USB-C to headphone jack. Also I've got a different one here, but this is a USB-C to USB-C. But on the other end is a headphone jack. What the fuck was this for? Obviously a headphone jack port. And that worked. Which is bizarre because in my previous experience with the Heavies, which I tried that system for, it didn't work. So what gives? We seem to have a one-way system here, which is harmful to the fucking headphones, but also, yeah, it's a one-way system, and this meant that it wouldn't work any other way. you needed a specific cable for it to work, which is incredibly stupid. I don't know why this was decided as a good thing. And also it's the same length, so it was even more useless. The next issue I noticed with these headphones is the grabbing. Like, of all things, how you grab them. Because I usually hold them by the earphones and then obviously move them out with both hands. And I put them on that way. But you can't with these because look, these are in the way. And you end up hitting these. But this is just bad design. If they were inwards, like here, it'd be fine. Same with the port. There'd be less of an issue. But they're not, so it's just bad. It's just objectively a bad thing. It's just not good. I forgot to talk about the insides. I don't know why it's labelled inside, especially when these deteriorate over time. I wish it was on the outside here. It's not hard to put on, I don't think. Like, I don't know. Put them on here, maybe. But yeah, it's weird. It's one thing that I didn't mention in my script, which I'm not actually reading. But I'm getting an idea from it though. So I managed to get them working after a lot of troubleshooting, and I'll go into later about what prompted me to review these. Another issue to get these working, you need to, when they're wired, you need to turn on the Bluetooth. So this is on. It's always on, but if you turn it off, it's going to stop working. And you can't use it wired. Which is bizarre. Because I'm only a wired user. And people will be asking, like, why are you getting wireless headphones? And it stopped recording for some reason when I did that. But yeah, you need it on to fucking get it working wired. It's just it's so dumb. Why? It's just one bathroom decision after the other. And that also brings up the lighting here, but this is annoying as fuck. Because it even happens when your computer's off, when it's obviously wired in. It's so bright as well, it lights up the room. And I've got a pretty dark room myself, so it shouldn't light up that badly, but it does. Well, I suppose it's more sensitive because of that. But that's annoying, that needs to change. It's just, I don't get it, so dumb. So, getting to solve the positives now. The EQ is fine from what I can tell. It's pretty balanced. Again, I'm not an expert, but when listening to like metal music and symphonic and even like Final Fantasy soundtrack here, I generally had no problems with it. It didn't sound much different to the heavies, to be honest, which is unusual because every single headphones I've ever owned all sound different and take a while to adjust, but these didn't take any time to adjust. They just worked, they felt natural, which is a first, and that's the first really positive thing about it. And even though like my metal cover at the moment, yeah, like it's working for the most part. Definitely not noticing issues there. I'll just run my setup. Get that open. Get this open, whatever that is. No. That's the next thing. Yeah, I need the longer cable, which is why I got this. Got Anchor, because to be honest, they're quite a reliable company in my experience. They're not the best, but I think they'll do. Design's not bad either, actually. Sometimes you get these really thick USB-C sort of casings around it. It's just barely covering my fingerprints and stuff, my finger. It's not bad. But I've had some of those like really thick. They just don't make any sense. They don't always fit in things like this as well. for the next thing in the script. But yeah, it took a while to get working for some reason. This is the next issue. Because I was risking using USB-C to USB-C in the back of my computer, I was having trouble getting it to work. And after a lot of like troubleshooting and like the speakers and stuff and the settings, sound settings, like going really advanced, like even device manager, I couldn't get them working. And I realised eventually after I made a post of talking about these in a negative light, because I was having a meltdown. It's too much to do, it's troubleshooting this shit whilst in burnout. Someone suggested drivers and it just made me clicked for me. And I just downloaded the drivers they had, luckily, on their website. And it asked to disconnect and reconnect them, and it worked. It started working. And I didn't have to do anything really. So that was both a bad and a good thing, I guess. This is manual drivers, and it worked. Yeah, it also has 24-bit audio for anyone wondering. I noticed some difference, but it's not massive. Also, there's not a lot that changes between 16-bit and 24-bit, what I've noticed anyway. The comfort of the headphones when I'm wearing them, they are really comfortable, surprisingly lighter than their heavies. This bit is a bit firm, but you don't really notice it. It's the most firm feeling part of it, and also these bits are weird, they're not actually soft, but this bit is. It's like a weird sort of cushiony bit. Never really known headphones like that. The cushions are somewhat soft, not bad. They're also a bit firm as well, that's interesting. I suppose that helps with noise isolation. And they're not too tight on the head, as you can see, there's like a separation. That just reminds me, another issue. What the fuck is this? Why is this here if it's not going to rotate? It rotates there, but most headphones fold in, but these do not, and I'm worried I'll break them. I'm pushing quite hard on it and it's not going in. It's weird, so you can't fold this up. So it's just a forewarning for anyone thinking about using these like Bluetooth. Next thing to look at is noise cancelling. You just press this when it's on, obviously. You've got transparency mode and normal mode as well. And it works pretty well, you can hear your voice still. That might be a problem to some. Yeah, you can still hear like keyboard tapping to an extent. So my keyboard there. What else? You don't really hear background noise that badly. Like my computer is quite loud, I don't know if you can hear it. But I don't hear that as bad. Yeah, it just improves things. It's good to have the feature. I'll never complain about not having. Never complain about having, I mean. What experience? I've already talked about that. But yeah, I suppose we get onto like the convenience and stuff. One of my biggest worries is how it deteriorates over time. Because this is stupid. Like, there should be a hidden bit here. It's like only the cable is yanked, not the entire port. But here it's kind of dangerous and it's not going to last that long, I don't think. But we'll wait and see, and I'll update if it does. It starts having issues. But that's my biggest worry. But then I noticed something else with these, and these were quite positive. So I struggle with a thing called irritable bowel syndrome, or IBD actually, it's not. That's not irritable IBD, irritable bowel disease. Well, supposedly, but they're looking into something else now. And I also have ADHD, but undiagnosed. And I struggle with, obviously, like, going to the toilet and stuff, and it takes a while. But one of the biggest inconveniences of that is essentially having to go away from my PC and obviously like stop doing certain things, like stopping media to go to the toilet and then carefully take these off, as I have to anyway because of the cable. But something really interesting happened when I got these, and when I first sort of took them off and put them on, I noticed that my media thing at the top right, top left even, was weird. It was like showing up, like, I'm not sure if it'll work, it does show. Okay. But that was like showing up, and it was confusing me. I didn't know what that was because I wasn't touching anything on the side. I made sure I never touched this, for example. Or this. What is this anyway? I don't know what that is. Maybe a media change or like changing the state, like sort of command thing, I don't know. But then I took them off again and noticed it again, and then put them on, and it's like, hang on. These are pausing and playing my media. So I've got like Minecraft video here, and it's pausing and playing them. I don't know how I can show this off, but whenever I put them on, they stop playing the media, obviously, and when I take them off, it pauses. It's like, what the hell? I've never known anything like this. I don't really know how they achieved that. But to me, it seems like there's like 3 pressure points in here, like something to do with the pressure, how you press it down. I notice when I press this, it doesn't make a difference, but there's like a button here or something. I don't know how they do it, and then it just unpauses media, and I try to show it off, but I don't know if I can. So I'll set this up and see if it works. Right, so let's do it. Put it here, put the media on the left, so pay attention to that, and also the top left of the first one to the middle, whatever. It's not plugged in, that would help. Right, here it goes, so I'm going to put it on now, and there we go. And it's playing. I didn't even touch anything. Like, keyboard's here, mouse is here. Take it off, and it pauses. I'm just mind blown. It is such a good feature. Like, unbelievably happy with that, because it's such a big deal to me. It will be for others as well, especially if you like got a family and stuff. Like, imagine running around and dealing with that as you're trying to listen to Madonna, as I was. It's just good, and it works on live streams as well. I tested this. I don't know what other media it will work on. It just seems to be like the last thing you played. So if you did like alt tab or change a tab, you'll play the thing that you were previously on. So be aware of that. But holy shit, that's such a good feature, and that's why I'm reviewing this. Really, it's more like I just want companies to employ this feature. You know, stop focusing on like EQs and that apps and stuff, which this does have apparently. There's no desktop app, which is another complaint I have. But yeah, like that sort of thing is going to be handy for people. And you know, if I'm like talking to someone and listening to a podcast as well, and if I need to listen to them like closely, I need to take off the headphones, and that'll pause it automatically. Which is like stupidly useful. There's like different features for this. So I guess it's to my conclusion. I do like these headphones so far. It's just a matter of whether they last that long. I don't know how long it will last. Like, I'm just gonna guess like a few months if I'm lucky. As to the things that I'd change is probably change to like the design here, like the durability. I'll definitely put the ports a bit elsewhere. This does hit my shoulder as well, I forgot to mention when I'm wearing it. It does sort of hit my shoulder a bit, so it's not a well designed port. It needs to be like upwards a bit for sure, somewhere around there. I'm not sure what these are, probably transparency mode. The next thing I'd probably change is adding more ports to this, because yeah, it does need an extra port, I think, just for reliability's sake. Because if one goes wrong, you can use the other. But no, they've not done that. So it's not going to last as long. and yeah, I think that's the only thing. I don't know if it has USB-C to USB 2 compatibility. I did test that actually, because my heavies had that system, and I think that was working for it actually. That's what I was using before this, and it didn't work. The same cable just didn't work with this, so I don't know what that's about. I think it needs to change. But yeah, if they ever make a P150 or PU55Y or P200s, then they need to make some of these changes, I think, to make them really good. And I'd probably consider buying these for like nighttime headphones, because they're that good, I think. And also, if I'm listening to like music or something whilst I fall asleep, if I decide to take these off, it's going to pause the media, and then eventually that'll pause my phone, which is like I'd call it like an eco feature to an extent. It saves resources, and that's just such a good feature. Don't remove that. Although I do wish, and this is just speaking on the accessibility point, I wish they'd allow you to disable it, because I think people won't always like that. Again, everyone's different. I think it depends on the person. I know there might be situations where I want to keep it disabled. Like if I'm watching a live stream, it doesn't matter if I have it running or not. I might want to leave something running, but yeah, that's like the reason. So I'd rather keep it playing. It doesn't keep it paused, by the way. If it's off, you can literally just play the video again. Like it still works. Let's go back a few seconds. So it's good. I do like these. Again, plenty to improve. So that's my review. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever. See you on another time.